Hello, this is Mrs. White, and this is the second lesson on time. So we're splitting time up and doing one lesson a week. So these are all the vocabulary that we need for time, some of the things that we need to know. So we need to know how many minutes there are in an hour, and that each block here is equivalent to 5 minutes if that's the movement of the minute hand. Look at the 3 different types of clocks that there are. So we have an analog. These two are both digital, so there's only 2 different types of clock, but this one is a 12-hour clock and this one is a 24-hour clock, and I know that because 18 is greater than 12. Here's some language here that we're going to be using, and our bar model that we used a lot in the previous lesson and will be using quite a lot in this lesson. So today's lesson is looking at the different units of time again, and we'll be focusing on days, weeks and years mainly. Right, so just to do a quick bit of revision with the different units of time, I'd like you to look through here. Can you pause the video please and see if you can remember, write down if you can remember how many days are in a week. Let me know, so how many days are in a week. There are how many days in a year, and I've given you 2 spaces, so I'm looking for 2 answers. How many weeks are in a year and how many months are in a year? And how many days are there in each month and how do you remember? So pause the video now and then you can find all the answers, and then I'll give you the answers in a second. Right, here are our answers. So we have 7 days in a week, 365 days in a year, or if it's a leap year, so that extra day in February, the 29th of February, which happens once every 4 years, it's 366 days. There are 52 weeks in a year, and there are 12 months in a year. And then how many days are in each month? So I remember it from the poem. 30 days have September, April, June and November. All the rest have 31, except in February, which has 28 normally and 29 on a leap year. Right, so now we're going to move on to our activity for today. And this is looking about how we can convert. So we did quite a bit of conversion in our previous lesson, looking at converting minutes to hours and seconds to minutes. Well, this time we're looking at converting days to weeks, weeks to months, days to months, and also to years. Right, so we're going to start with this one. 2 children taking their dogs for a walk, and we know here new play area is opening in 4 weeks, and the question here is, in how many days will the new play area open? And here we've got a really nice nifty bar model which shows us that the 4 weeks, another way of doing 4 weeks, is 4 lots of 1 week, and we know there are 7 days in each week, so that we can go 4 times 7, which tells us that it is 28 days, so that we know the new play area will open in 28 days. Right, the second part is, how old is Max's dog? Right, well, we know that Lexi's dog is 3 years and 8 months old, and we know that Max's dog is 1 year and 7 months older than Lexi's dog. So we're going to have to add these 2 amounts together. So if we look here, we've got 1 year and 7 months adding 3 years and 8 months. And I like the way they've done it here because they've separated the years to the months to start with. So they've taken 1 year here and 3 years here. So 3 years plus 1 year equals 4 years. And then they've just done the months separately. So we've got 7 months and 8 months that they've added together. So 8 plus 7 equals 15 months. Now we notice very quickly that 15 months is more than 1 year. So here we need to do our conversion. So we're going to convert the 15 months here into 12 months and 3 months. And the reason I've chosen 12 months is because 12 months is equivalent to 1 year. So that's 1 year and 3 months. So now we've got 4 years plus 1 year and 3 months. So the total is going to be 5 years and 3 months. So Max's dog is 5 years and 3 months old. Right, now we're going to look at this question, question 1. We have Rena and Andy. Rena is 8 years and 10 months old, and Andy is 4 months older than Rena. So we want to work out how old Andy is. And this is when I need to get a pen. So if we add the months together, we've got 10 months here, and then we've got 4 months here. So 10 plus 4 is 14. So 8 years and 14 months. So I wonder how many of you have noticed that that's not quite right. So we've got 14 months here. Excuse my writing, I'm trying to write with a mouse, which is very interesting. And we now know, right, use one of our conversion facts. So one of our conversion facts is there's 12 months in 1 year. So I'm going to split this into 12 months here and then 2 months here. So I now know that 14 months is actually the same as 12 months, which is the equivalent of 1 year and 2 months. So then when we're working out how old Andy is, he's in fact 8 years plus 1 year plus 2 months. And we know that is 9 years and 2 months. So Andy is 9 years and 2 months old. Right, now I'm going to look at the second part of this question. And we're still using Rena's information, but we now know that Mo is 1 year and 11 months older than Rena. And we're trying to find out how old Mo is in years and months. So we've got Rena is 8 years and 10 months, and Mo is 1 year and 11 months older than Rena. So one way of doing this is what we did before, is we looked at the years first. So we've got 8 years and 1 year. So we're going to add 8 years plus 1 year, and that gives us 9 years. And then we're looking at the months. We've got 10 months and 11 months. So 10 months plus 11 months is 21 months. And we know from our conversion that 12 months equals 1 year, but 21 is greater than 1 year. So we're going to look at 12 months and how much we can split them. So 21 months is the same as 12 months and 9 months. So that's the equivalent to 1 year and 9 months. So now I'm going to use my pen. And we now know that we've got the years here. So Mo is 9 years old plus 1 year. And then plus, here we have 9 months. Plus 9 months. So when we add that together, we know 9 plus 1 is 10. So we know that Mo is 10 years old and 9 months old. Okay, now the interesting thing that we could have thought about is, well, Mo is 1 year and 11 months old. Well, that's actually just 1 month less than being 2 years old. So we could have said 8 years plus 2 years is 10 years, but she's not 10 years and 10 months because she was 1 month less. So it'll be 10 years and 9 months. So it's quite interesting to look at the amount and see if there's a different way of doing your calculation, but this is the best way of doing it to be sure. So add the years up first and then add the months up, and that's the way to get the answer. Right, now we're moving on to question 2. How many weeks are the same as 35 days? So in our bar graph, we've got 35 days as a whole, and we want to convert that into how many weeks, and we've started that already by saying that there are 7 days, okay, in 1 week. So we want to know how many 7 days equals how many weeks. All right, that's what we're trying to do here. And this is where I'm going to do my dividing. So I'm going to say, instead of just drawing the bar model, I'm going to use a quick division fact and go 35 divided by 7. So for my division facts, that we know that 5 times 7 equals 35. So 35 divided by 7 is going to equal 5. So this way, we know that there are 5 weeks are the same as 35 days. Okay, and the figure up here is that we can say here 5 lots of 7 days. It will be 5 lots of 7 days, which is the same as 5 weeks here. Okay, so we would need 5 lots of 7, which makes 35, and that's 5 weeks. Right, this is a really good question. I wonder if you noticed that the problem that's gone on straight away here. What is 4 years and 3 months when you convert it all into months? And Amelia here has said, I think that 4 years and 3 months is the same as 43 months. I wonder how many of you straight away thinking, oh no, Amelia isn't right. So we're going to work it out first, and then we'll see what mistake we think Amelia made. So if we know that each year has got 12 months in it, we know we're going to have to find out what 4 times 12 equals to find out how many months are in 4 years. So 4 times 12 is 48. And then we're going to add the 3 months onto that. So 48 plus 3 is going to equal 51. Okay, so we know it's 51. So what's Amelia done wrong here? And you're right, Amelia has thought that there's only 10 months in a year. So she's done 4 times 10 to make 40 plus 3. So that is the mistake that Amelia made there. Right, now we're going to go on to the questions for you to have a go at. So what I'm going to suggest you do is I'm going to put this screen up for you to pause it and find the answers. This week, to make it a bit easier, we have included these sheets if you want to use them, or if you just want to write them down on a paper, the choice is yours, whatever you prefer to do. So just pause this page and I will give you the answers later. Now here are some more questions. So again, have a pause this page and have a go answering these questions, and I will give you the answers soon. Right, well done. Let's go through the answers. You can see I've enlarged it to make it easier for us all. So question 1, complete the bar models to convert the units of time. So that's what we're working with, and at the moment we're working in days and weeks. Right. The orange juice should be used within how many weeks? So we know that it's 21 days, and we know that there are 7 days in each week. So we're going to put 7 days, 7 days, 7 days, and 3 lots of 7 makes 21. So here, 21 divided by 7 is 3. And so we know that the orange juice should be used within 3 weeks. Right, here we have, this is about the delivery of the parcel. It says it must be delivered in 3 weeks and 5 days. So here we are on our bar model. We have 3 weeks and 5 days, and we've split that in to 1 week, 1 week, 1 week, and 5 days. And now we're going to convert. 1 week equals 7 days. So we've got 7, 7, 7, and 5. And we could just add them up. Or we could say in our head 3 times 7, because there's 3 lots of 7. So 3 times 7 is 21, plus the 5 is 26. So we know that the parcel should be delivered in 26 days. Right, let's look at C. Suitable for children over 36 months. And we want to convert that into years. So bar model again, 36, and we're going to now split them into 12 months because we're converting from months to years. So we know there's 12 months in 1 year, and we have 12 months, 12 months, 12 months, and we know that 3 times 12 is 36, don't we? So we know that that is in fact going to be 3 years. Right, now let's look at question 2. and it's where we're matching conversion. So this is the one we're given. We have to match it to ones over here. So I'm going to start with the ones I know. So 4 years. So 4 years is going to be 4 lots of 12. So 4 12s of 48. It's going to be 48 months. So I know that that's right. So we're going to convert 12 weeks. So we're going to convert that one into days. And we know there are 7 days in a week. So it's going to be 12 times 7. So 12 sevens are 84. So we have 84 days here. 2 years. Well, we could convert 2 years into how many months? So that would be 2 lots of 12, so 24 months. So I'm going to go across here and see if I can find 24 months, but I can't find 24 months. But this is quite interesting, this number of days. So let me think about that. What's 365 twice? So 2 300s will be 600 and 2 65s would be 130. So 2 years is the same as 730 days. Good conversion here. And then here we're going to look at converting 6 weeks and 6 days. So I know there's 7 days in each week. So I'm going to do 6 times 7, which is 42 plus 6. So 42 plus 6 is 48. So I have 48 days here. And the last one, well, it's going to have to be this one. And this says about, so this is interesting. So 7 months. So roughly people say that there are 4 weeks to a month. But we know that that's not completely true because some months have got 30 and some months have got 31 and one month is either 28 or 29. So there's more than 4 weeks. So it's about 4.5 weeks. So if I did 7 times 4, that would get me to 28, and then roughly 30 sounds about right. Another way of thinking about that is that 6 months is half a year, and half a year is going to be half of 52 weeks because we know there's 52 weeks in a year. So half of 52 is 26 weeks. That sounds about right. So if 6 months is 26 weeks, then 7 months is going to be 4 more weeks roughly. So about 30 weeks works really well for this one. Right, question 3. How many weeks are there in 53 days? So this way we're going to convert days now into weeks and days. So there are 7 days in a week, so 53 times 7 equals 375 weeks. Oh dear, I think Lee has got confused. He's not read that question carefully. He's not saying how many days are in 53 weeks, which is what he's doing. He's done 53 times 7. He's doing 53 weeks, and there most probably is 371 days in 53 weeks, but he's got his days and his weeks all confused. What it's saying is in 53 days, how many weeks would that be? So here's my 53 days, and I've converted it. So I'm trying to think of a number in the 7 times table that's near to 53, and I know 7 lots of 7, 7 times 7 is 49. So here I've got 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, plus 4 will get me 53. So I'm going to convert each of those to weeks. So I've now got 7 weeks and 4 days. So the answer is 7 weeks and 4 days. And Lee has not understood that question correctly. He's got his days and weeks and his conversions all the wrong way round. Right, here's 2 really nice calculations here. So 5 weeks plus 13 days is the same as. So here, if we look at this, we know that 13 days is 1 week and 6 days. So we know that it's the same as 6 weeks and 6 days. And then 38 months minus 2 years. Well, we couldn't just do 38 take away 2 because we're not using the same unit. We need to convert them both to the same. So I would convert the 2 years to 24 months. So 38 take away 24 is 14 months. Right, moving on to question 5, complete the sentences. So first one, to find the number of months in a year, what do I have to do? Well, 1 year is equal to 12 months, so I have to multiply it by 12. So 2 years would be equal to 24 months. Yeah, that makes sense. Then this one, find the number of years in a group of months. So if I knew that there was 24 months, to find out how many years that is, I would have to divide it by 12 because there's 12 months in a year. So I'd divide it by 12. Right, so that's our conversion between years and months, and now we're converting between weeks and days. So find the number of days in a number of weeks. So if I said that there were 3 weeks, then I would have to multiply that by 7 because I know there's 7 days in a week, so I'd multiply that by 7 to find out the number of days. So 3 weeks, 3 times 7 would be 21 days. And find the number of weeks in a number of days. So if I knew that we had 70 days, I would know that there's 7 days in a week. So I'd do 70 divided by 7, and that would give me 10. So that's what we have to do, and that's really worth thinking about and remembering when we're doing conversions. I like this question. How old are you in years, weeks, and days? Okay, and then you need to find out how many days old you are. Well, I'm not going to work out how old I am in days because that would frighten me, but I thought I'd take the age that some of you may be. So I've done 9 years, 6 weeks, and 3 days. So if somebody was that old, how many days would they have been alive for? Let's work that out. So 9 years, well, we know there's 365 days in a year. So it's 9 lots of 365. And when you work that out, you know that that is 3,285 lot of days. And then 6 weeks and 3 days is 6 weeks is 6 times 7, so that's 42. Add 3 is 45 days, and then we're going to add these together. So 3,285 plus 45 is 3,330 days, and that is how many days I would be if I was this old. So why don't you have a go and work out how many days you are? What a big number. Right, now for the reflect question. A baby is 20 months old. How long ago in years and months was it born? So we're doing 20 months and we're going to convert that into years and months. We know 12 months in 1 year. So 20 take away 12 is 8. So we know it's 1 year and 8 months. What we could also do is 20 divided by 12. So if we had 20 divided by 12, we know it goes in 1 time. So it's 1 year, and there's a remainder of 8, so it's 1 year and 8 months. Right, looking at extra resources, if you'd like to freeze this page and have a go, and then also have a go with this page, so freeze it and have a go with this, and then I will give you the answers. Right, extra resources, if we have a look at this, we could use a calendar to help complete these sentences. How many months are there in a year? There are 12 months. How many days are there in February? Well, it depends if you have a look at calendar, but it's either going to be 28 days or 29 days. So how many months have 30 days? Okay, and how many of the months have 31 days? So if we look at the calendar, 30 days have September, April, June, and November. We know that's 4 months. We know that February has more than 30, so that's, has less than 30, so that's 5 months. So 12 take away 5, we know that 7 months are left that have 31 days. Right, there are 365 days in a year and 366 days in a leap year. And these are all facts that we just need to remember. So keep asking ourselves and then we can remember. Right, we're going to complete this table. So 5 weeks. So we're going to do 5 times 7 because we're going to multiply by 7 because there's 7 days in a week. So 5 times 7 is 35. We know there's 49 days, and now we're going to do dividing because we know there's 7 days in a week. So 49 divided by 7 gives us 7 weeks. If we have 84, we're now going to divide that by 7. So 84 divided by 7, and we know that's 12 weeks. Sally is 7 years and 2 months old. Macy is 85 months old. Who is the oldest? Well, there's no way we know unless we do a conversion, and we need to convert them both to the same. And there's very different ways you can do it. You can either convert the months to the years or the years to the months. So here, I'm going to convert them both to months. So Sally is 7 years and 2 months. So 7 years, 1 year is 12 months. So 7 times 12 is 84 plus 2. So Sally's 86 months. Macy's 85 months. So that tells me that Sally is 1 month older. Right, looking at these questions, here we are. We have Raj, Louis and Seb describe when their birthdays are. Raj says, my birthday is in 96 hours. Lois says, my birthday is in exactly 2 months. And Seb says, my birthday is in 35 days. So we're going to use the clues here to work out when their birthdays are. And we're going to pretend that today is the 8th of June. Well, we're not far off from that, but it's not exactly the 8th. Work out when your birthday is from the 8th of June. We'll do that later on. Let's work out when these are. Right, so let's take Raj's first in 96 hours time. So how many hours are there in a day? We know there's 24 hours in a day. So that'll be 48 hours of 2 days. So 96 is 4 days on. So 8th of June plus 4 days, we know that Raj's birthday is on the 12th of June. Lois is 2 months exactly. So the 8th of June plus 2, so 8th of July, 8th of August, that's in 2 months' time. Now, Seb is in 35 days' time. So we're going to take the 8th of June. We know that there are 30 days in June. So of that 35, we're going to take 22 of them to get us right to the end of June. So 35 take away 22 leaves us with 13. So that means that his birthday is the 13th of July. And then you can work out your birthday from the 4th of June. Right, always, sometimes, or never. There are 730 days in 2 years. Well, that is going to be sometimes, isn't it? Because sometimes there will be 365 days in the 2 years next to each other. But there are going to be times when there's 1 year with 365 and 1 year with 366. So equally, sometimes 2 of the years together will be 731 days. Right, let's have a look if these are true or false. 3 days is greater than 72 hours. So I know there's 24 hours in a day. So 24, 42 hours in 2 days, add 24 is 72. So 3 days is actually equal to 72 hours. So that's not right. 2.5 years equals 29 months. Right. So 1 year is 12. So 2 years is 24. And then we want half a year. So half of 12 is 6. So 24 plus 6 is 30. So it's not equal to. So that's false, isn't it? 2.5 years is actually greater than 29. 11 weeks and 4 days is less than 10 weeks and 14 days. Right, I'm not actually going to convert this completely. I'm going to say, well, those are 10 weeks and 14 days. So let me have a look at 11 weeks. So that's 1 week more. So that's 7 plus 4 is, so that's the same as 10 weeks and 7 plus 4 and 11 days. So I know that 10 weeks and 11 days is less than 10 weeks and 14 days. So I know that that's true. So well done. Thank you very much for the work you've done on time. If you do have any problems or any concerns, please either email your teacher or you're more than welcome to email me, or go on the Year 4 blog, put a post, and let me know what the problem is, and then we can go through it. So I hope you're enjoying doing time. This is this week's lesson, and then I will do you another lesson for next week. And I hope you're enjoying all the other maths as well. Speak to you soon. Stay safe.